Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the June 23rd, 2022 monthly meeting of the Henrico School Board. We do apologize for starting this meeting a little bit late this evening. Our work session ran over this afternoon. At this time, I would like to make note of Mrs. Shea and Mrs. Ogburn's physical absence from today's monthly meeting. They previously notified board members of their request to participate electronically from a remote location due to a medical condition and personal reasons, respectively. Our school board policy P2-04-006, electronic participation in meetings from remote locations, requires a majority vote of the board members to participate in a meeting from a remote location. In accordance with this school board policy, do I hear a motion?
I move that the school board approve the remote participation of Mrs. Shea and Mrs. Ogburn for today's meeting.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Reverend Cooper. Now for a roll call vote. Ms. Atkins?
Aye.
Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Mrs. Shea and Mrs. Ogburn's requests have been approved. This meeting is being live streamed on the HCPS website. We'll begin our meeting with a roll call. When I call your name, please verbally indicate your presence. Reverend Cooper.
Present.
Mrs. Shea.
Present.
Mrs. Ogburn.
I'm here.
Mrs. Atkins.
Present.
And I'm here too. So please let the record reflect that a quorum of the board is physically present and Mrs. Shea and Mrs. Ogburn are participating electronically. I ask Mrs. Shea and Mrs. Ogburn to verbally note if they need to leave the meeting and subsequently verbally note when they return. And the first item on the agenda for this evening is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I move that the school board approve the agenda.
Thank you, Reverend Cooper. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins. Now for a roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Mrs. Ogburn?
Aye.
Mrs. Atkins?
Aye.
Chair Shea?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it. The agenda is approved. And now for the superintendent's portion of the meeting.
Thank you, Mrs. Casella, members of the board, and good evening to our guests and visitors. We will begin our meeting, as we always do, with the Pledge of Allegiance, and that will be followed by a moment of silence. So I'd ask that you would stand as you are able for the Pledge of Allegiance, and again, that'll be followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And that concludes our moment of silence. You may be seated. All right, the next item on our agenda is our Henrico Highlight, and this evening I'm very excited that we have two Henrico Highlight feature items. So first, I would like to highlight a student-led effort to change the school mascot at Rolf Middle School. You may recall that a group of students actually appeared here before the school board 2 years ago with concerns about the existing mascot, which depicts a first American. Since then, using creative and critical thinking, collaboration, and communication, all attributes and skills of the Henrico learner profile, these young people have inspired and led change at Rolf Middle School. Principal Debbie George is here with an exciting announcement about the school mascot and how it was determined. So I'll ask her to come forward. Come on up. We'd love to have you come a little closer. We're so excited to have you with us.
Once again, good evening, everyone. Good evening, welcome, good evening to the board, to the chair, and to Dr. Cashwell, and to everyone in the audience, and everyone who's live streaming. I'm Debbie George. I'm the principal of John Roth Middle School, the proud principal of John Roth Middle School. And Dr. Cashwell, as you said, this has been a journey. And this has been truly a labor of love. You asked, how did this come to pass? Well, about 2 years ago, a group of young ladies approached me with a proposal from their classroom. It was a class assignment that was transformed into a life learning opportunity. They approached me with a proposal after talking with some of their teachers. And I have to laugh because I look back at them, they're not sixth graders, well, seventh graders anymore. Y'all step up, please. Seventh graders anymore. They have become very mature young ladies and contributing citizens for our society. With their efforts, they convinced me to accept their proposal. And with direction from their teachers and mentors, they brought the proposal to you all. With those efforts, they got input from the community members, from 2 school counselor directors, and one is actually back there now. One is at another high school, another middle school. And with that, after 2 years of labor, 2 years of love, 2 years of meeting virtually, because we didn't know the pandemic was coming, talking with Dr. Mans and her team, speaking with Samaritan Baptist Church and that congregation and that community, we are pleased to announce, with the work and efforts of
Mackenzie Nelson.
Step up, I need for you to tell them your name.
Mackenzie
Please step up and tell us your names again. We know because you came before us, but for the audience and everyone else, please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Mackenzie Nelson. Hi, I'm Kyra Lambert.
Who are now high school students. We are pleased to announce, ladies, you want to share?
Yeah. The John Roth Jaguars.
So in their proposal, the characteristics that they identified with were symbolism of strength, symbolism of courage, of valor, integrity, and actually intellect. So that's from the choices that were offered. John Roth Jaguars are our new name.
We feel honored to get to hear that announcement here and be among the first to know of the new mascot and to have been part of your journey. We wanted to highlight, as our Henrico Highlight, your effort, because I think it really does demonstrate, as your principal said, how you're putting these life-ready skills and attributes into action and leading change. And we are so proud that you both exemplify those characteristics we lift up in our Henrico Learner Profile. And so we're so incredibly proud of your work and your efforts. And I would offer an opportunity if any board members want to ask questions of the group or make comments, since we have them right here with us. Thanks.
I am incredibly proud. This effort absolutely began back in 2020. There were multiple conversations. There was historians involved. And it's so lovely to see you come back and present it as well. That's just as important, so that you can reap the reward. There was such commitment, such excellence. But I think the biggest thing that I saw was your patience, commitment, and passion for change. You were not going to give up. I don't care if there was a pandemic, and you had arms wrapped around you to help support you. And so it's so wonderful to see both of you, and Principal George, how proud I know you are. I want to thank you for giving students the space to be themselves, the time to advocate, and to allow them to empower themselves, to do the research themselves, to reach out to school board member themselves, and so they could actually experience the power that they have and the power of agency and your voice, because it's going to outlast you. this change that you were a part of. So congratulations not only to you, but to the entire Varina district, because we are now John Roth Jaguars. So kudos to you.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins. How impactful, how intentional, and like we've just told the students today, our equity ambassadors that came forward, student voice. I mean, this is a perfect example of student voice, and this board values it. So thank you so much, and Ms. George, thank you for your support of them and leadership supporting them in this important name change. It's so much more than a name change and what it means to the school community now and going forward. Ms. Nelson and Ms. Lambert, well done. Well done.
Thank you.
And then I guess I'll just go to Roscoe Cooper.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chair. So yeah, Ms. George, again, thank you for your leadership and empowering your students to think outside the box and to challenge status quo, because, I mean, they could have allowed what was to continue to be, but they decided that if ever there was a need for change in this cultural climate that we're in, this was now. And so Ms. Lambert and Ms. Nelson and others of you who you represent, we applaud you and for your, not just using your voice, but using your advocacy. And I do hope that this is just the genesis of your advocacy efforts on behalf of topics and situations that you're passionate about, because it has to be a seed that is sown, that is watered, that grows, and therefore this is what the byproduct is producing. And on a point also, Madam Superintendent, I also want to acknowledge Supervisor Reverend Tyrone Nelson in the back, who represents the Varina District. I don't know why he's here for no reason, but I do know that one of the young ladies has his last name, so I'm just wondering if that is his and Ms. Nelson's daughter. So we just want to acknowledge Mr. Nelson, Reverend Nelson.
Thank you, Reverend Cooper. I apologize, Reverend Nelson, for not recognizing you as a special guest. Ms. Ogburn.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I tell you, this is when you see all of Henrico's hard work come together in one place. When these students have done what we hope that they will do and lend their voice to causes that are close to their hearts, and they become community leaders that we can see growing right in front of our eyes. So we're also proud of you, and I remember vividly when you came the first time. So it's wonderful to have you back and that this has come to fruition. And for you to be the leaders of your school, I know great things are coming in the future for all of you, and we look forward to watching you continue to grow. And I'm sure in some other capacity, hopefully you'll come back to see us at some point with another great project. But thank you for all your hard work.
Thank you, Ms. Ogburn. Chair Shea. We can't hear you, Mrs. Shea.
I mean, I don't know that that's a bad thing that you can hear me, but can you hear me now? But ladies, I just appreciate you all taking this across the finish line. I remember when you brought it to us, we actually had 2 schools at the time looking at mascot changes, and we as a board kind of handed it right back to y'all, because when we look at the policy, while the school board looks at the naming of schools and facilities, the mascots and all that sort of thing kind of bubble up from the school itself. And so I know this was a huge lift on y'all's part to engage your community and find consensus, and particularly over COVID. And so just kudos and well done to you all. And I'm really excited to celebrate the Jaguars. Go Jags.
All right. Well done. Thank you again to the leaders who made this possible, and really kudos to the entire school community. I know that you were in charge of that effort, but it involved a lot of buy-in and input, and so we appreciate you being able to come forward and highlight that. Thank you once again. One last round of applause. Thank you so much.
Dr. Cashwell?
Oh, yes.
I do apologize. We have parents here, and I remember those calls. Not only did we have members of the community there, but parents actually were in the calls because I was not going to have a call without parents being there. So I'd like to thank our parents who are here in the back. Thank you very much.
A true community effort. Love the stakeholder engagement, appreciate the parent involvement. Our next highlight, of course, you won't be surprised to see what we're featuring here. We are going to highlight the approximately 3,325 members of the class of 2022 who crossed the stage last week at the Siegel Center to receive their diplomas. Student speakers and principals noted the resilience of this graduating class. We heard appreciation for their teachers, kindness towards their classmates, and gratitude overall for a school community that felt more like family. While we strive for every student to be life ready, we also want them to be genuinely good people, and we have that in the class of 2022. Take a look.
Welcome to the Siegel Center on the campus of Virginia Commonwealth University,
where our students will become graduates. Please rise for the class of 2022. Begin their processional.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all.
Today is a day of celebration.
You have stayed the course and have achieved your goals, for which you deserve recognition and praise.
It is with great pleasure to acknowledge that our graduates are closing a chapter in their lives and beginning a new one.
No climb towards success is made alone. No legacy is forged by just one person.
Please join the class of 2022 in a well-deserved round of applause for our faculty. On behalf of our school faculty and staff, thank you for sharing your children with us for these 4 years.
If you are a parent of a member of the graduating class, please stand.
Our class's experience is unique, but it's not negative. We faced uncertainty and refused to be held back. I know whatever our future holds, we'll face it with that same level of determination.
we have grown so much from the scared teenagers who were fearful of how high school was going to turn out, to the young adults that are ready to make an impact on the world around us.
To my fellow classmates, this journey called life is not easy. We have all faced several challenges in our lives, but the fact that we are here speaks to their drive and determination.
And we will thrive, regardless of where we go from here. Whether we're set to be enrolled in college, enlisted in the military, or employed in the workforce.
I'd also like to thank the class of 2022 for making school more than just about learning, but about living, laughing, and loving. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2022.
All right, y'all, this is the best part. Will the candidates for graduation please stand?
By virtue of the authority vested in me,
and on the recommendation of the faculty and administration,
I declare these candidates of Deep Run High School,
of Mills E. Godwin High School,
of Highland Springs High School,
graduates, 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 with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereto.
Will the graduates please turn your tassels?
Dr. Cashwell and distinguished leaders and ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present the class of 2022 for graduation.
right. On behalf of the faculty and staff of John Randolph Tucker High School, congratulations to all of our graduates.
What a fantastic week we had celebrating our seniors. Among the graduates were many of the 575 students who were also honored at our CTE completion ceremony last week. These determined young people earned industry certifications, dual enrollment credits, and completed programs that have them poised to enter the workforce. So congratulations again to all of our graduates. And I will turn it back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Cashwell. The next item on our agenda this evening is the reading of our mission statement. Reverend Cooper, will you do the honors?
Yes, ma'am. Henrico County Public Schools, an innovative leader in educational excellence, will actively engage our students in diverse educational, social, and civic learning experiences that inspire and empower them to become contributing citizens.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is public forum. This is the time where citizens are invited to address the school board on any matter of concern about the school division. Citizens have signed up in advance, and speakers will be given 2 minutes to address the school board. We will follow the sign-up list, and the board will not hear from speakers who have not signed up in advance. Those who have signed up to speak may not relinquish their spot to someone else. We also ask that each speaker come to the microphone and clearly state your name and neighborhood or school affiliation and the subject of your remarks. Any use of profanity or inappropriate language will be ruled out of order. After stating your name, please place the number you were given in the cart near the podium. Speakers are allotted 2 minutes to address the board. To assist you in tracking your time, there is a timekeeping system displaying the elapsed time on the screen. Speakers will also receive a notice from the chairperson when their time has expired. The school board is here today to hear from you, the community. Speakers should speak directly to the board. We will not be responding to speakers, but we do appreciate your attendance here this evening and for providing input. The first speaker is speaker number 1.
Is it on? Okay. My name is Kenesha Walker. I'm in the Varina District, Elko Middle School. Okay. I've come here to express my comments and concerns about elective and core course collaboration support. Within the world of STEAM and STEM, it seems the T in technology has become a missing component in promotion, marketing, and involvement in core courses with mathematics and science. I say that as my time in education teacher these past 2 years, the importance of technology as an elective has had its challenges. While the county has been focusing on making sure students pass their core courses, electives within CTE, specifically computer and technical related courses, have not had the opportunity to show their strong core course connection in supporting children. I'm aware that we have been in perilous times with the pandemic. In a lot of instances, the well-being of students and staff has been the highest priority. Yet as a community, as a county, we are still thriving, improving, and implementing change in a way that still reaches children through education. Technical related courses have a strong focus in hands-on and structured activities that give students the opportunity to experience life skills, social skills, and communication skills on a daily basis in all classes. Skills such as electives are not valued, there is an increase in behavioral issues as well as social emotional challenges because the importance of education rests solely on passing core courses. I found that when students can create, implement, formulate their ideas in critical thinking practices and technical scenarios, audio, visual, and kinesthetic learning styles are supported. This school year, I had an opportunity to get the Technology Student Association chapter started. I saw that there is over 70+ competitions within the organization that directly connect with STEAM. not STEAM, but also STEM and English, and even gifted program courses like the 21st Century Leadership. I realize that the hands-on practical application of STEM and STEAM has been right under the county's noses. Why hasn't this been promoted to help and an extension to learning, not only as a CTSO, but as STEM and STEAM as a gateway? Once teachers have the ability to support in collaborations and connections, a balanced approach to the importance of technical education can be appreciated, and that the days of excluding electives from organic support would be changed. Personally, I can tell you many times that I've heard students mention in my class something that they were taught in their core class that has a good impact in learning technology. While realizing the importance of collaboration, that's my time. I have looked at ways to try to connect with teachers and bridge the gap in student learning, but I also understand that that cannot happen without the support of school board, administration, staff, and stakeholders. I have more. We all know that there is an understanding
If you would, excuse me, you've exceeded your time. If you would like to, if you have a hard copy, please leave it with the clerks, or if you would like to email it to the school board, please do so. We do want to hear what you have to say. The time limit is just set so that we can hear from as many folks as possible.
Understandable.
Okay.
Thank you. Where do I send it to? Because I can send it right now.
schoolboard@henrico.k12.va.us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is speaker number 2 here this evening? Speaker number 2? All right, the next item on the agenda is the approval of consent items. We're going to vote as a block, items 7.01 through 7.22. May I please have a motion to approve the consent items?
I move that the school board accept and/or approve consent agenda items 7.01 through 7.22 as recommended and presented.
Thank you, Reverend Cooper. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Chair Shea. Now for a roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Chair Shea?
Aye.
Ms. Ogburn?
Aye.
Ms. Atkins?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it. The consent items are approved. Board members, do any of you have any unfinished business? Ms. Chair Shea, none? Ms. Ogburn?
No, I'm good, thank you.
All righty, the next item on the agenda is the selection of delegate and alternate delegate to the 2022 Virginia School Board Association Delegate Assembly. I'm going to ask for nominations. Do we have someone that will nominate the delegate and the alternate delegate? Mrs. Chair Shea has expressed interest in delegate, and I expressed interest as the alternate. May I have a motion if a board member would?
I move that the school board approve Mrs. Shea to serve as delegate and Mrs. Kinsella to serve as alternate delegate for the 2022 VSBA Delegate Assembly.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Reverend Cooper. Now for a roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Chair Shea?
Aye.
Mrs. Ogburn?
Aye.
Ms. Atkins?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it. Chair Shea will serve as delegate, and I, Christy Kinsella, will serve as alternate delegate to the 2022 VSBA Delegate Assembly. We appreciate you volunteering, Chair Shea, for representing with me and representing our board and the division at the Assembly. Next on the agenda is the naming of Rolf Middle School Auditorium, presented by Ms. Atkins.
I move that the school board waive the 1-month notice period and approve the naming of John Rolf Middle School Auditorium in honor of Mrs. Latrice R. Withers. This request was initiated by Principal George and supported by a petition, students, staff, and the Roth Middle School community. Ms. Peterson, an instructional literacy coach at John Roth Middle School, wrote the following. Mrs. Withers was a valuable asset to our school and community. Her talent and passion for acting was contagious. She used her love for theater to bring out the very best in our students. Through what most people would see as an elective, Ms. Withers used speech and drama to elevate students' English language skills, and more importantly, she used it to help students gain confidence in themselves. Please help us ensure that the love and light that Mrs. Latrice R. Withers shined so brightly on our students never fades away.
Thank you, Ms. Atkins. I believe there was a motion in there. Yes. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. And now for a roll call vote. Reverend Cooper?
Aye.
Chair Shea?
Aye.
Mrs. Ogburn?
Aye.
Mrs. Atkins?
Aye.
And I vote aye. The ayes have it, and the waiving of the 1-month notice period and the naming of Rolf Middle School Auditorium have been approved. Thank you for bringing that forward.
Thank you.
Board members, is there any additional new business? Ms. Ogburn?
Not from me, thank you.
Chair Shea?
None.
All right, well, the next item is the announcement of meeting date. The school board's next meeting will be a work session scheduled on Thursday, August the 11th, 2022 at 1 p.m. The meeting time may be adjusted if needed. This meeting is adjourned.